Welcome to another edition of From the Vault. It's presented by the Canadian Motorsport Hall of Fame. I'm your host, Todd Lewis. Today we go Formula Atlantic racing. The Canadian Atlantic Series was a rigorous stepping stone to the big leagues like IndyCar. First up, we go to Toronto, where the Atlantic Series was the support race to the big Champ Car event. Enjoy as Jimmy Vasser takes on Canadian standouts Stéphane Proulx, Claude Bourbonnais, Frank Allers, and David Empringham.
Race number 2 of the Players Limited Formula Atlantic Series from Toronto, Ontario. After a thrilling first race in Montreal, Quebec, all the drivers are back for more except Jacques Villeneuve, the fiery Quebec veteran. He led much of the race but spun out one too many times. Quebecer Stéphane Proulx finished second to American Jim Vasser. This 1991 Atlantic Series already looked like it would be one of the best ever. Hello everyone, I'm Jerry Dobson and welcome to the Players Limited Formula Atlantic Series here in Toronto at the Molson Indy Weekend. Joining me once again is Paul Chater, and Paul, this Formula Atlantic racing has been extremely competitive. The qualifying, unbelievable.
It's been fabulous to watch. The top 7 cars have qualified within 1.3 seconds of each other, and all 7 of those drivers got under last year's track record.
And some very strong efforts by our Canadians as well.
3 Canadians in the top 7. Stéphane Proulx is qualified in second place. He finished second in Montreal. Claude Bourbonnais will be starting third, and David Empringham, who had a disappointing race in Montreal, will start 7th.
Jim Vasser, the winner in Montreal, our first race of the series, is the pole sitter. Let's check now the starting grid.
With the Montreal win, Vasser is the current leader of the Players Limited Atlantic Series, but he's also leading in the U.S. Series. And here in Toronto, he's already set a track record in qualifying. But this former North American Formula Ford champion is not resting on his laurels.
It's going to be a real long race. I think there's going to be a good 6-7 car race at the front. We missed Jacques Villeneuve here. He has a little bit of credence to the series, but I think it's going to be a good race.
Beside Vasser on the front row is Canada's Stéphane Proulx. This Formula 3000 star finished second in Montreal in an unfamiliar rented car. Again, the car is rented, but Vasser's pole position does not scare Stéphane.
Maybe my car is not as quick, or maybe he drove a little better in the qualification. But when you're in the front row, anything can happen. And I'm more at ease this time with the car. I'm familiar with the car, and we have a better engine compared to Montreal. So I'm certainly sure this time Jim won't run away like he did in Montreal with a 12-second lead.
Canada's Claude Bourbonnais races in the World Sports Car Championship Series in Europe. In Montreal's Atlantic race, he finished 18th, but not before putting on a spectacular passing display, climbing as high as 8th before his car gave up. He finished second here last year.
Anything can happen in the race, but right now I'm focused on getting my engine back, and that's the key for me to win the race right now. I need that engine. I noticed in qualifying this morning that I didn't have enough.
Jovi Marcello is from the Philippines. At this time, he's second in the Toyota Atlantic Series in the States, but Jovi has never raced here before in Toronto. The cement walls of the course make him just a little bit cautious.
Most of these guys are saying you got to hold back and see what happens. I think the guys in front of me are just going to go for it, and I can't afford to let them pull away too far, so I'm going to try and stick with them, if not get by them.
Chris Smith is a brilliant new talent to keep an eye on. He hasn't got much money, but his father is here, famous racing engineer and author Carroll Smith. Chris has never driven here in Toronto before, and he knows there's lots of competition.
This race is a little longer than we're used to. Jim Vasser's been hard all year. Jovi Marcello, the Canadians, they're all tough. It's a very deep field here. A lot of guys running good, and it's going to be a good race, definitely.
Another American, Stuart Crow of Texas, is 6th on the grid. He finished only 16th in Montreal, but has been doing well in the current American Atlantic Series. He's never raced up here in Toronto, but he's not lacking in confidence.
I think it's a pretty easy circuit. It's not very difficult to learn. It's pretty straightforward, so I wouldn't say not being here before would be a very good excuse.
Canada's David Empringham is in 7th place. He's also racing in the Players Limited GM Motorsport Series, where he finished second last year. Even though he didn't do well in the Montreal Atlantic race, here in Toronto, David beat the track record in qualifying along with the top 6.
We are pretty happy. The whole Obus Form team has worked really hard over the last month. We've got most of the quirks out of the car that frustrated us in Montreal.
And David has a CTV mini camera on board his car. Here's the rest of the field. John Tanner, he was third in Montreal. Charlie Neerberg, one of the older racers here, could do very well. Also watch for Canadian Frank Allers. Mike Berg is from California. Rookie Rick Peterson is from Alberta. A really great group of talented racers are attracted to this Players Limited Atlantic Series this season. Race number 2 here in Toronto. Now, every year, just for one weekend, a racetrack magically appears in downtown Toronto, carefully carved out of Lakeshore Boulevard and the Exhibition Fairgrounds.
As temporary circuits go, most of the drivers agree that this Toronto Indy circuit is one of the finest in North America. But something they always have to keep in mind are these concrete walls. There is no room to make a mistake on this track. Now, it doesn't scare the drivers in terms of having to muster up bravery to get through a corner quickly. What does scare them is how much it could cost if they hit one of these walls. It could mean the difference between going to the next race and staying home. Let's have a look at the circuit now. 1.78 miles long and 11 turns. This is down the Lakeshore Boulevard. It's a public street 7 days a week, 363 days of the year. Down 3 gears into this very tight right-hander. And then up a short hill. The track's very bumpy in spots here. Up a gear, then down. Hard on the brakes for this left-hander, immediately followed by a long sweeping right-hander. This corner is very tricky. You see they tuck in close to the wall once, twice, and a third time before heading out onto this short straight towards the bridge. A blind, very fast left-hander. You see he didn't even lift off the throttle. Now into a good passing zone here into this right-hander. Down 2 more gears, up through the gears, and quickly back out onto the start-finish straight.
A very hot weekend as the cars waiting on the grid for the race start. A huge crowd waiting for the green light. We're just about set to go, and there we are. We are underway here in Toronto.
Formula One style standing start as Jim Vassar gets a jump on everyone. Chris Smith in the yellow car, number 24, dives to the inside to try to pick up a position from Claude Bourbonnais. See the cars streaming through turn 1, a very dangerous point in the race. Some cars running off in the loose marbles on the outside and inside of the track. It can be tricky. There's Chris Smith in the yellow car, number 24, putting a pass on John Tanner down the Lakeshore Boulevard. And there, out front, Jim Vassar and Stefan Prue, number 65, behind him.
Jim Vassar in the yellow car just went through your screen in the lead. The red car of Prue, he's in second. Another yellow car, that is Chris Smith running in third place.
Cars through, wow, we almost had one back marker up against the wall coming through the hairpin as the cars are streaming through, trying to get themselves collected. Meanwhile, Vassar is starting to pull out a lead and a slide from Stefan Prue in the red car. Watching now to see how Claude Bourbonnais is doing. There he is in car 04, the light blue car. Big slide through that corner.
So a tough corner there, as it seems to be, as a couple of cars had trouble with that one, but no problem so far. That dangerous standing start, but everybody's still on the track, and we look okay so far. Jim Vassar of California is your leader in yellow car number 36. There goes Prue in the red car, and then Smith in another yellow car. That was Prue that just went by. There comes Chris Smith. John Tanner is running in fourth.
Look at the lead that Vassar has now, and there's Prue. He's stretched out his lead in second place, and it looks to me like Chris Smith is holding back John Tanner just a little bit. There, David Embringham and Claude Bourbonnais nose to tail it through the first corner.
So Jim Vassar, there's a look at Bourbonnais in the blue car.
He's setting up David Embringham for a pass. We can see Bourbonnais has tucked right in there. Embringham's wing, car number 14, Embringham down the Lakeshore Boulevard. Watch for a pass here. Bourbonnais is in his slipstream. He pulls out, slingshots by, hard on the brakes, out braking. We can see from David Embringham's point of view now as Bourbonnais slides through the corner, and David gave him the necessary room to make that pass.
So a textbook move by Claude Bourbonnais. So after 4 laps, the top 5 racers are Vassar, Prue, Smith, Tanner, and Marcello. We'll be back in just a minute. The Players Limited Formula Atlantic Series is brought to you by Yokohama Performance Radial Tires.
From the Vault is brought to you by M-Zone, premium auto care, proudly owned and made by Canadians. By Recap Recovery Drink. By WeatherTech. For the perfect fit and ultimate in-vehicle protection, nothing protects like WeatherTech. Order online at weathertech.ca. And by the Canadian Motorsport Hall of Fame. Visit our website for Hall merchandise.
This is lap number 7. There is Jim Vassar in the yellow car in the lead, followed by a couple of back markers. Stefan Prue is in second spot. He's not in your picture. Third is Chris Smith right there. And fourth is John Tanner in the dark car right behind him. And Smith has to be concerned about the walls on this tight course.
You have to mind those concrete walls because they're not going to move. And to get a good lap in, you've really got to concentrate here.
And now Smith, well, he's got another problem because there goes John Tanner in the dark car right behind him.
Beautiful pass into this right-hander off the straight next to the Gardner Expressway. Tanner, car number 93, there's Chris Smith, number 24 behind him, and Smith is now under attack from behind. He's got Stuart Crow in car number 3 behind him.
So some interesting moves here. John Tanner overtaking Chris Smith. Here comes Tanner, and there is Smith in the yellow car, just being passed for third spot. Tanner is now in third. Up ahead is Prue, and up ahead of Prue is Jim Vassar. But there goes Tanner, and there is Smith in the yellow car.
Down the Lakeshore Boulevard, there's Jovi Marcello in the white and blue car number 1 on the left-hand side, and Stuart Crow on the right-hand side, going down the straight, attempting to pass Jovi on the outside. This is a really strange maneuver. Marcello figuring he's got the track blocked, but it didn't work. Stuart Crow just powered out on the outside of him down the straightaway and has picked up a position, is now after Chris Smith in car 24.
Jovi Marcello has come a long way to race in Toronto from the Philippines, and he's doing well. He finished 4th in Montreal. Jovi wants to race Indy cars, but he's happy in the Players Limited Atlantic Series.
This is a very good training ground for Indy cars because they're basically the same design car, and we use ground effects just like Indy cars. And it's a very competitive series, just like Indy cars too.
Pick up the race again. There goes Chris Smith in the yellow car. He's currently in 4th. He doesn't look to be doing too well here right now, as both Crow and Marcello are gaining on him, it appears.
Down the front straightaway, he seemed to lose a little bit of power. They're heading out onto the Lakeshore Boulevard now. There's Crow in the white and blue car. And Chris Smith, number 24, he's moved to the inside. He's checking his mirrors. He's lost a lot of power. There goes Crow and Jovi Marcello right by him.
So Smith in the yellow car, there you can see he's losing it badly. Crow in the blue car, number 3 right there in front of you, has gone by. Marcello in the white car is by. Chris Smith in big trouble in that yellow car. In fact, he's almost stopping.
He's parking it. He's picked a dangerous place to park it. No, he's not parking. He's just allowed a couple of other competitors through, and he's going to continue on slowly. There's our leader, Jim Vassar, way out front in the blue and yellow car, the Craco machine, number 36.
Jim Vassar, there he goes in the yellow car, and a look at, that's Claude Bourbonnais in the pits, so his day looks like it's over.
Looks like he's having problems with his brakes, and there's Chris Smith hopping out of his car in the pit lane.
Meanwhile, Jim Vassar in the yellow car in the lead. Stefan Prue in a red car is in behind. Actually, there's a back marker there, the white car, but behind that back marker is Stefan Prue in a red car. He is currently in 2nd spot. You can just see him at the top of your screen there. There comes Stefan Prue, and then it looks like another back marker, or is that, yeah, that's another back marker in behind Prue. There he is, number 2 right now. He's in 2nd spot in the red car behind Jim Vassar. That's a back marker, that white car in front of Prue. He doesn't need to worry about him. He wants to get by him, obviously, and try and chase down Jim Vassar, who is currently leading this race. Or is he? He's got a problem. There's Vassar. He's out of control.
Vassar's into the wall. He's done severe damage to the right side of the car. You can see the right side suspension is caved in. The bodywork's gone. He's probably done equal damage to the front right side suspension. He's out of it.
And so, a big change here on lap 10. Stefan Prue in front with Tanner and Crow behind. Jovi Marcello 4th. 5th is Mike Berg. We'll be back with more in a moment. A look now on replay, an overhead look. Watch the bottom left corner of your screen. There's where it happens.
It looked like Vassar moved to the inside to go around a back marker, but he was too anxious to get back on the line again, and he clipped the front of the car he was passing. It's a crucial mistake that could cost him the lead in this championship.
Might cost him the lead. It's definitely cost him this race. He is now out of it. The car is back on the track. There's the red car of Stefan Prue, your new leader. They are all now warming up their tires, getting set to race again. So Jim Vassar has found out that even when you're way out in front, passing slower cars is always a hazard.
I was going around a back marker, and just unfortunate maybe he didn't see me. His car was sputtering and missing, and I went by him and turned into my right rear. And, you know, maybe I was should have waited a little longer, but I thought he saw me, and his car wasn't running good. And it's just one of those things. It's really unfortunate.
And so we're just about set to go again. The cars are speeding up. There's Stefan Prue going through in that red car, waiting for the flag again, and we are underway, racing one more time.
Boy, Prue got his boot in it early. You can see the lead he already has on the rest of the field heading into turn 1. Stefan Prue in the red car out front. Stuart Crow, blue and white car, number 3, running in 2nd place down the Lakeshore Boulevard.
So Stefan Prue, look at the lead he has on Crow there. Prue in that red car is way out in front. Crow in the blue car right behind him. Looks like John Tanner is now chasing Crow.
Upwards of 160 miles per hour down the Lakeshore Boulevard. There's Prue in the red car, 65 out front. Stuart Crow running in 2nd, and John Tanner in the black car in 3rd. There goes Jovi Marcello around some back markers. Mike Berg in the white and blue car, number 9, running behind him. We can see how difficult traffic is from David Empringham's viewpoint.
A look from David Embringham and a little bit of somebody breaking ahead of him there, I guess, caused that.
Oh, and weaving back and forth. And two cars bumping together, their tires rubbing. Empringham backed right off the throttle. You can see that he's lost a couple of positions because of that. He had to go down a gear to get his speed back, so he's going to have to pick his way through the traffic again.
The leader, Prue, here in the 17th lap. The blue and white car of number 3, Stuart Crow, not far behind. Crow started this race in 5th. He loves this Players Atlantic Series.
It's the most competitive Formula Series in this continent. I believe the depth of field is better than the Indy cars, and there's just more guys that could win the race in this race than in any other Formula Car Series you're going to have.
There goes Stuart Crow, and here's another car with trouble. That's Jovi Marcello. He has spun out.
He was running in 4th, but even though he didn't hurt his car, he's lost at least 7 positions. It'll be very difficult to recover from that spin. But the race is only half over, but he does have flat-spotted tires as a result, so he's going to feel like he's driving on nickels now.
Canadian Frank Allers there in the blue car, started 13th. He's 9th now as we have his point of view, the dangerous walls on this demanding course. Miniature CTV cameras were mounted on the sides of several cars to give us this very unique shot. The Sony Handycam is just the same as a home movie camera, but it takes hours to install on the Formula Atlantic cars. The wide-angle lens and Sony recorder can withstand the high levels of vibration the race cars produce. Camera angles and exposure settings are double-checked on TV monitors before the race. Where are the bugs? Well, there's a special automatic lens cleaning system to clear oil and insects from in front of the tiny camera every few seconds. Here's Stefan Prue on lap 22. He's out front, an open track in front of him. Hot on his tail should be the blue and white car of Stuart Crow. And Crow, it looks like he's gaining on him.
And Prue has to be watching his mirrors. Indeed, Stuart Crow is gaining on him. Through the right-hander just before the entrance to the pit lane, down the front straightaway, there is a flat-out left-hand turn right here in the middle of the straight. It's a frightening corner. Into turn number 1, hard on the brakes. Prue using the middle of the track to try to thwart a pass from Stuart Crow, which is no doubt coming. Crow is setting Prue up. You can see how close he is to him down the Lakeshore Boulevard now.
What a challenge for Stuart Crow. He's never raced here in Toronto, and look at him. There he goes. What a great shot.
On the outside again. He did this earlier in the race. I didn't think it was possible to pass on the outside on the Lakeshore Boulevard going into the hairpin, but he's done it again, this time to Stefan Prue. He must have a lot of horsepower.
Stefan Prue, though, is not letting him get away. He tucked in behind just as they moved off Lakeshore, so he's still right there with him. But Stuart Crow, who has never raced here, now in front. Stefan Prue has already won in this track before. So after 21 laps, it's Prue, Crow, Tanner, Berg, and Nürburg. And we'll be back with more in just a moment. Stefan Prue's mother, Monique, a former driver herself, watching as the Players Limited Atlantic race here in Toronto continues. Her son is chasing Stuart Crow. There is Crow in the 3 car, the blue car. Right behind is a back marker, and then it's Stefan Prue in the red car.
Prue desperately trying to keep up. He's passing on the inside. Stuart Crow in command of this race. I was surprised how easily he went around Stefan Prue a few laps ago, and it's obvious from this viewpoint that Prue is having to work very hard to keep up. He's throwing his car all over the racetrack.
So the complexion and the storyline here has really changed in this race. We weren't expecting great things, I guess, from Stuart Crow, but he's in great position now to walk away with this race.
But there's still a lot of competition behind him. Here's the fight for 6th place. Number 17, Charlie Nürburg in the white car. Steve O'Hara, number 8, and Mike Berg running in car number 9 right there, right behind him. Now, they've been battling nose to tail, swapping positions back and forth throughout the race. This Players Limited Atlantic Series is definitely competitive.
So quite a story here. Stuart Crow of Texas leading the race. Charlie Nürburg of Texas as well, currently in 4th position. So this is really developing into a Texas race here with Stefan Prue trying to fight them off. Crow out in front by quite a margin now of Stefan Prue. There is Crow in the blue car, number 3. Stefan Prue in the red car. And there's Tanner. And it looks like he's getting passed by Nürburg right there.
Another Texan, Charlie Nürburg, number 17, moves on the inside very easily down the front straightaway, and he's pulling away from Tanner on the Lakeshore Boulevard. The Texans have really got it their own way today in this 40-plus heat.
So Nürburg has moved into 3rd position, so only Stefan Prue stands in the way of a 1-2 finish for Texans here. There's Nürburg in the white car, just went out of your screen.
And Steve O'Hara, number 8, goes by John Tanner. Tanner has got a problem with the black car. He's slowing down.
So troubles for John Tanner. Stefan Prue continues to run well in second place, but ahead of him, there's the leader, Stuart Crow in that blue car. There's Nierberg.
And there's O'Hara in car number 8 trying to keep up as well. Nierberg has really put on a charge late in the race, so we've got a car into the wall.
Another car into the wall. In fact, you can see his nose cone just up ahead of the car. There it is off to the right side. So this guy, whoever he is, his day is over.
Well, he's peeled back the left suspension on the car as well. Let's have another look at it. Coming through right behind Stefan Prue there in the red car. The accident happened. He's hit the wall, and he's moved the tire wall out from the concrete wall. So that presents a hazard to the other drivers.
And so we are now under the yellow again. Now, this race is supposed to be 40 laps, but apparently it looks as though they're going to decide that since we're under time constraints here as well, that they'll likely have to end this race under the yellow. And indeed, that is what will happen. They'll end this race under the yellow after 37 laps. And so Stuart Crow cruises to victory. Stuart Crow of Texas will take the checkered flag. You can see it there. It'll be Stefan Prue in second place. The cars have no choice here now with the yellow, with the caution flag out. So there it is. Stuart Crow is your winner. What an unexpected turn of events here. And is this guy excited or what? Stuart Crow wins the race here in Toronto. Prue finishes second. Nierberg is third. Fourth is Steve O'Hara of Laguna Hills, California, with Mike Berg finishing fifth. David Empringham is sixth. And Stuart Crow also wins the $500 Yokohama Now You've Got Control Award. Racing journalists picked Crow as the driver who got the most out of his car during the race here, driving on an unfamiliar track and working steadily up from sixth to first. Congratulations to Stuart Crow.
There's Crow in the middle on the victory podium. The Texans did well today. With the humid X, it was over 40 degrees Celsius.
It was a good drive. No, I was always worried that Stefan was there. He's very good, but the Wyndham Hotel Swift came home first, so we're very pleased.
Being a Texan help in this heat?
Oh, it always helps to be a Texan.
Were you just out horsepowered?
Not exactly. I think he drove a good race. He seemed to have a little bit better horsepower in straight line. And my brake pedal seemed to be a little soft. I didn't want to take any chance on the braking. And, he drove great, but I hate that it ended that way on a yellow flag.
Well, a strange race here, Paul, almost from the moment we started, and an unfortunate day for the pole sitter, Jim Vassar.
And Jim Vassar, and for Claude Bourbonnais, I don't think anyone would have made Stuart Crow an odds-on favorite, but a good day for Stefan Prue finishing second. He may just find the money he needs for the next race.
Okay, and so that's just about it from the Players Limited Formula Atlantic race here in Toronto, and don't forget to join us next time for back-to-back races in Calgary. And so for Paul Chater, this is Jerry Dobson saying goodbye from Toronto. And the Players Limited Formula Atlantic Series is brought to you by Yokohama Performance Radial Tires.
Great seeing that early Toronto circuit that carves through the exhibition grounds. Next up, the Atlantic cars head to the oval of Race City, Calgary. British Columbia's Trevor Siebert starts on the pole in his first year in the Atlantic Series.
The 1991 Players Limited Atlantic Series from Race City Speedway in Calgary, Alberta. This is round 3. Canadian rockers Jeff Healy and Colin James rocking the stands here on a hot day in a huge crowd as the race car drivers will rock everybody with their daring battles. Hello everyone, Jerry Dobson here along with Paul Chater. Race City Speedway in Calgary, the site of today's race, a 1/2 mile oval track. We'll also have race 4 in the series here for you, and because it's an oval, should be very interesting, Paul.
It'll be a challenging race, 125 laps of this short oval at speeds averaging more than 150 kilometers an hour. Add to that the fact that BC rookie Trevor Siebert is on the pole position, and beside him, one of the best Formula Atlantic drivers on the continent, Claude Bourbonnais. American Freddie Remrev should have been in the race today, but he had a bad crash. He's okay, but he's out.
Well, so far, this Players Limited Formula Atlantic Series has been extremely competitive and extremely exciting, thanks to some wonderful driving in qualifying.
Montreal hosted the first race in the 91 Players Limited Atlantic Series. Quebec's own Jacques Villeneuve was in the lead for most of an extremely competitive race, but several spins proved too much for his car, and American pole sitter Jim Vassar ended up as the winner. Quebecer Stefan Prue finished in second.
The next race in Toronto proved to be just as exciting. Jim Vassar was again on pole and led for the first 10 laps before hitting the wall. Quebec's Stefan Prue then led until passed by Texan Jim Crow on the 26th lap. Behind the leaders, the battles never seemed to stop. The race ended on a yellow after 37 laps, so Prue had to content himself with second after Jim Crow and Nürburgring was third.
It's hot and dry here at Race City Speedway outside of Calgary. Almost perfect conditions except for Trevor Siebert, our pole sitter. He just finished third in the Players GM Motorsports race and literally crawled out of that car into his Atlantic car.
And Trevor is still leading the Players GM Series, but this is his first race in the Atlantic Series this year, so he's got his work cut out for him. Let's check the grid now.
On the pole is Canada's Trevor Siebert in car number 4, the same rental race car that Jacques Villeneuve raced in Montreal, but with a better engine this time. Trevor is a BC businessman and a weekend racer, but that's not to say he isn't a real threat here as an Atlantic rookie.
I'm glad to see that at least a good portion of the top drivers that are in the Atlantic Series right now are here, and I really wouldn't want to be here racing if they weren't here. I always like to judge myself against the best there is, and I was really glad when I pulled in to see that they're here.
Claude Bourbonnais has qualified second here. He's hungry to prove himself in his Camnet car number 04, a top-class racer from Quebec. Claude has lately been competing in the World Sports Car Championship Series in Europe. He hasn't had much oval experience, though.
There's 125 laps. You need a good setup on the car, because driver is not as important as on the road course on an oval. Car is vital. If you don't have a good car with a good setup, you can't win the race. There's no way.
Third qualifier on the grid is another Canadian, Rick Peterson of Alberta. He's also driving a rental car, number 5. Peterson could be a real threat here because he's raced dirt ovals for years as a hobby in his hometown of Grand Prairie, northwest of Edmonton. Does Rick Peterson expect to win?
I do now. I was hoping for at least a top 5 when we come here, but after our practice session now, I'm hoping to win.
Fourth on the oval grid today is car number 88, driven by young American Bert Hart of Boca Raton, Florida. This is only his second Atlantic oval race ever, and he's finding it tough.
You got G's on your body, you're sliding, your car's drifting up towards the wall. You're like, oh my God, we're, on a tetherball rope, or like, what it feels like is a washing machine on spin cycle.
Fifth on the grid is number 65, Canadian Stéphane Prue, one of Canada's foremost drivers, who spent last year racing in Europe. So far this year, Prue has those 2 second-place finishes in Montreal and Toronto, making him the Players Limited Atlantic Series leader. But it's his first race on a short oval, and he's got a lot of rivals here.
So on a short circuit like this, where we have 4 guys in the same tent in the second, any one of us could win, and I think it's a matter of being able to play well in the traffic and being consistent. I think Claude could be good on the race day, and so is Rick Peterson, so it's hard to say.
In 6th place on the grid, number 86, yet another Canadian, Frank Allers. Allers is racing in both the Players Limited GM Series and in this Players Limited Atlantic Series, and he's sure about his main rival here.
Well, the one I'm mostly concerned with, we're running a Canadian championship, and Stéphane Prue is leading the series right now. So it looks like he's going to go to all the races as we are, so I guess the only way to beat him is to actually beat him on the track.
The cars are on the pace lap now, and behind Allers in 7th and 8th positions are 2 Americans, David Doskey of California, number 33, and Atlantic rookie, businessman Billy Rowe of Arizona, number 40. They're followed by 2 more, young Mike Berg, number 9, and Gary Peterson, number 47, both of California. Next are Canadian Greg Mandrusiak, number 24, and finally, number 12, BC's Bob McGregor.
And we're just about set to race. There's Trevor Siebert in the yellow car on the pole. Right beside him, Claude Bourbonnais in the blue car. We're just about set, and yes, we have the green flag. There we go, and there goes Bourbonnais. Where's Trevor Siebert?
He's back in 6th. He blew the start. I don't think he was expecting it. He just didn't get on the throttle and got swamped by everybody else behind him on the grid. Now, Claude Bourbonnais pulled a very smart move here. He's got his foot down early, coming out of turn 4 before the green flag, and he's already got a good advantage. Now, there's Trevor Siebert on the outside in the yellow and black car, trying to pass Stéphane Prue in the red car, number 65, and he's done it on the outside. This is where Siebert's oval experience will come to the fore. Even though he got a bad start, he'll be much better suited to pick through the traffic.
Claude Bourbonnais has the lead for now. A very short oval here. They'll do a lap in under 15 seconds, so round and round they'll go in no time at all as we have a look from in-car here.
Along with Frank Allers, who's running in 4th place, chasing Rick Peterson directly in front of him. We can see the different lines they're using through the turn. Allers pulling right down tight to the white line on the inside of the circuit. Peterson, on the other hand, in front of him, using a much wider line. This ultimately will slow him down. It looks to me like Allers has his car set up well for this, and he's conserving his tires and just biding his time at the moment in 4th place.
And right in behind him, there's Trevor Siebert. In fact, it looks as though Siebert in the yellow car, he nearly caught Allers right there, but has to tuck in behind one more time. So as we look through behind Trevor Siebert, I believe, and there's Stefan Prue in the red car.
Number 65, Prue, and we can see Stefan's car is kind of weaving all over the track, whereas Siebert is picking exactly where he wants to put that car, and it seems that he can put it anywhere he wants on the circuit. That's his oval experience. He's set up this car extremely well, and he's through. He's past Allers. He's into 4th place now. The yellow side panels on Siebert's car there, number 4, down low inside the red and white car, number 5 of Rick Peterson. Now, from Allers' viewpoint, we can see that battle with Siebert on the left. He slots back one more position. He's just waiting, but he's got that car perfectly positioned. Now he's going to try to get past and pick up another position.
Some great driving here by Trevor Siebert. He still has some traffic to pick his way through if he can catch the leader, Claude Bourbonnais. So, after 9 laps, the top 6, Claude Bourbonnais leads, followed by Bert Hart, Rick Peterson, Siebert, Allers, and Prue. The Players Limited Atlantic Series is brought to you by Yokohama Performance Radial Tires. Now you've got control. Claude Bourbonnais' blue Camnet car, number 04, still the leader. A pretty good battle happening in behind for 3rd place between Trevor Siebert and Rick Peterson. But there's Bourbonnais in front for the moment.
Trevor Siebert continually trying to carve his way through all of this traffic. There he is in the yellow car, number 4, chasing Rick Peterson, red and white, car number 5. You watch now as Siebert tries to pull down low. There's not much drafting to be done on a slow circuit such as this. They're going around number 12, Bob McGregor, a slower car. He's a lap down now as Siebert moves to the inside, takes advantage of the traffic, and he's going to pick up a position on Rick Peterson. Siebert desperately trying to get up to the front before they run into all the slower traffic. He has to do his passing now. That's what he's planning. He's charging after Claude Bourbonnais.
And they catch this slower traffic very quickly because they do laps here in under 15 seconds. That's how short the oval is. Trevor Siebert in the yellow car trying to pick up 3rd position.
There's Bert Hart directly in front of him now, the white car with the orange wing. And Siebert down low again. He's using this whole racetrack. He's not getting too close to the wall where the marbles are. Look at this. He's making it look easy. Beautiful pass down inside of Bert Hart, and he's picked up another spot.
And so Trevor Siebert there in the yellow car has moved all the way up to 2nd spot. Now he had to do some fancy driving here because he had the pole and he lost all of that right off the bat. Here he goes again.
Down inside quickly past a slower car. There goes Claude Bourbonnais in the blue car. Siebert right behind him in 2nd place, and then a pack behind them. There's number 5, Rick Peterson, red, white, and blue car. He's got Stefan Prue in the red car, number 65 right on his tail.
Stefan Prue right there in the red car, number 65. As we go inside Stefan Prue's car with our CTV Sony Minicam, looking ahead into the car of Rick Peterson. Peterson is in 4th, Prue is in 5th.
Peterson's car seems to be much better set up, although Prue is being daring, trying to dive on the inside to pick up a position. Prue's car doesn't seem to be handling all that well. He must know that, so he's pushing it harder. Now look at the battle for 1st place. There's the blue car, number 04 rather, Claude Bourbonnais, and Trevor Siebert right behind him. Siebert now trying to desperately to get by Bourbonnais. He's got to do this before they get into traffic. Bourbonnais ran way too high up close to the wall and gave an opening there for Siebert.
So Trevor Siebert's experience on the oval track seems to be paying off. He's just passed car after car. Trevor Siebert right there in the yellow car with the blue trim is your leader now. He has overtaken Claude Bourbonnais, trailing in behind there in the blue car. Bourbonnais now in 2nd as Siebert attempts to pass another slower car here. There's Bourbonnais. Oh, and Bourbonnais catches Siebert. He just simply banged right into him there.
Spun him right around. That was Gary Peterson, the slower car in front. Probably what happened is Bourbonnais did not expect Siebert to slow down that much behind the slower car. Bourbonnais was not prepared for it, and he just ran straight into him. He also got the car in a bit of a slide through turn 4, knocked off his front wing, spun Siebert right around backwards. And that spin, with all 4 wheels locked up, has left flat spots on those tires, and that will affect the handling of the car for the rest of the day.
So a tough job ahead for Trevor Siebert as we take one look again from inside our CTV Minicam, and look at that, enough to make it dizzy. Fortunately, Siebert was not hit by anybody else, and big trouble for Claude Bourbonnais as well. So after 25 laps here at Race City, this Players Limited Atlantic race leader is American Bert Hart. Rick Peterson from BC in 2nd. Quebec Stefan Prue is back in 3rd. Trevor Siebert back to 4th. And don't forget about Frank Allers, who's still a threat. He just won another Players GM race on the road course here, literally moments before he had to climb out of his Camaro and into his Atlantic car. At 41 years of age, he's the defending Atlantic champion, and he's also been the Players GM Motorsports Series champ for the last 4 years. This year, he's third in the Players GM Series and second Canadian in the Atlantic.
I was about 12 years old. I lived on a farm on Vancouver Island. And my father used to have road and track magazines around, and I'd read about Jim Clark winning the World Championship and stuff, so I had some interest then. But I never really got the chance until I was about 20 or 21. I went to England to the Jim Russell driving school. I thought, well, if I'm 20 and I go into it, there's some very competitive drivers when they're into their 50s. You know? And so it has a long life, not like hockey or football or something where you have 10 years at your very best, you know. So from that point of view, it's a nice sport.
Driving Atlantics is a sport that demands a lot from your body.
The cornering power of these cars, the cornering sports, is so much higher than the Camaros. You know, you turn left all the time. I got my head over to the right, and I thought, well, straighten up, and I could not lift my head back up to the normal position. So we have a headrest there now to ease the strain on your neck, but it's actually impossible to lift your neck back up. You're worried about trying to catch the car in front of you and make sure nobody passes you, and you get into a rhythm where you're comfortable, and you're not risking the car every lap, but by the same token, you're trying to get everything there is out of it. Put as much pressure as you can on the guy in front, make him make a mistake. That's about it. If you start driving your mirrors and you worry about the guy behind you, you're going to make a mistake yourself.
So a look at Claude Bourbonnais in the blue car as he comes back out of the pits after tangling with Trevor Siebert a little earlier. We should be set to get back to some racing again here. Just a moment. There we go. The green flag again, and we are racing one more time. We are on lap 35, 15 laps under the yellow there. Watch for the leader, Bert Hart, stretching way out there in the white car.
He made a brilliant start. He got on the throttle quickly. He knows he's got to pull away from this pack and have as much clean running room as he can possibly get before they start lapping slower traffic. Behind him, number 5, Rick Peterson, then the red car, number 65, Stefan Prue, and Trevor Siebert is right on Prue's tail. He's moving down inside, down the back straightaway. Watch now as they come out of turn 4. Third and fourth place running side by side, the red car, Prue. Inside him is Trevor Siebert down low. Prue way wide out into the marbles, and the blue and white car of Mike Berg has passed Prue. Stefan really miscalculated that corner. Either that or he's got a car that's not handling well.
A look in behind from Trevor Siebert's car. He's now in third, and boy, is he ever stretching it out.
And there goes Frank Allers. He's behind the red car, Stefan Prue. Inside with Allers now as he chases down Prue. Down the straightaway into the turn. Watch how low down Frank Allers will go while Stefan Prue is sliding. He's got a poor handling car at the moment. It's very loose.
Stefan Prue right there. He's being chased hard by Frank Allers. We'll have to see how that unfolds.
And Bert Hart out front. There's Rick Peterson, red, white, and blue car in second. And Trevor Siebert in third spot, trying to go around the outside. First, second, and third running nose to tail into turn 1. Siebert using a lot of the racetrack. He's trying to go around for second place, which is an unusual move as we watch the leader, number 88, Bert Hart, into turn 3. He's got Rick Peterson behind him. They're lapping a slower car. And there is Trevor Siebert taking advantage down low on the inside to grab second place.
So Trevor Siebert, remarkable driving again by him. His experience on the oval. There he is in the yellow car, tucked right in behind Bert Hart. He's chasing him down. He's got him in his sights. He drops down low again, and it looks as though he'll take him again.
Now here's the oval experience of Trevor Siebert paying off. He knows how to work this car in the corners. As we watch out the back of his car now on the CTV minicam as he just pulls away from Bert Hart in the white car, number 88.
The story of the day is definitely Trevor Siebert and his experience on short ovals. He's back in the lead, and he's really pulling away from Bert Hart.
Down the straightaway, Trevor has got this car nailed. It's like it's on rails this afternoon. He can move all over the racetrack as we watch now. Car coming into the pits. That's number 24, Greg Mandrusiak from Kelowna, BC. It looks like his day's over.
It's over for Mandrusiak, but not for Trevor Siebert. Siebert in the lead in the yellow car there, and he'll soon have Bourbonnais in the blue car a full lap down. He's got him in his sights. It's only a matter of time, it appears. He drops down a little bit. No, he can't take him there. Oh, there's a spin in front of them.
It's number 12, Bob McGregor, right around backwards, heading up towards the wall. The yellow flags will come out while McGregor's... Man, we've got another car off. That's number 40, overreacted Billy Rowe has spun as well. There are 2 cars backwards, yellow flags being waved, and Frank Allers into the wall, number 86, straight off the end of the turn, hit the end of the tire wall and pretty hard thumped that cement.
So 3 cars go off there. Bob McGregor, Billy Rowe and Frank Allers. There's a look, I believe, at Allers' car hitting the wall. As you can see that McGregor and Rowe are already off the track. Boy, that's a nasty one. There he is again. Frank Allers just coming off a win here already in the GM Motorsport Series.
It's perhaps this heat this afternoon is just too much for him in the cars. We see number 12, Bob McGregor, getting his car straightened out. Let's see Frank's viewpoint of it. He goes into the turn way high. He's out of the groove, and something must have broke on the car. That just looked too easy. He just went straight into the wall.
He looks to be okay. However, he's walking around, so no problem that way, but it looks as though his day is finished. And so after 66 laps, it's Canada's Trevor Siebert, followed by Hart, Peterson, Berg, and Prue. We'll be back with more in just a moment. You know, all these cars on the track today not only look similar, they are by race regulations.
The concept of Formula Atlantic racing is for the focus of attention to be on the driver, not the car. So how do they do that? Well, first of all, they try to do it by making the cars as equal as possible. Starting back here with the engine. It's a Toyota 1600cc twin-cam 16-valve engine. Produces about 240 horsepower. All the cars have exactly the same motor. The remarkable thing is that this engine can push this car from 0 to 120 kilometers an hour in under 3 seconds. Why is this car so fast? Well, first of all, it weighs less than 500 kilograms. There's nothing on this car that isn't absolutely necessary. And it corners at extremely high speeds, like a Formula One car or an Indy car. The reason it can corner so quickly is because of the ground effect side pods on each side of the car. Under the car, there's a small opening. The air rushes in. That opening expands into a larger one at the back. As the air rushes in the front and expands through that larger opening, it speeds up. That creates a low pressure zone and, in effect, sucks the car down onto the road. But one of the things that makes this series so equal are the tires. Every driver has the same set of tires. They can't choose softer compounds or harder compounds. They can't play with the tires at all. They're all identical Yokohamas. And in fact, they have to race on the very tires on which they qualified. So with the same engine, the same tires, and all the same specifications, you know that the driver who wins a Formula Atlantic race is the best.
Okay, and we're back to racing again. We have the green flag. We're underway. Trevor Siebert still in the lead. His rental car doing a magnificent job. He's got a better engine and obviously a terrific oval suspension set up there. He's by Bourbonnais. He's got him a lap down. His yellow car doing a tremendous job for him here.
On board now with Stefan Prue, who's running in 5th place. He's chasing Mike Berg in car number 9. Prue, despite the fact that he's got a car that doesn't appear to be handling all that well, he's still attacking, going down on the inside, trying to pass Berg. He's got to get himself back up with the leaders if he hopes to finish in the top 3. He's now into 4th spot. The red car, number 65, Stefan Prue in 4th.
So Stefan Prue making a move perhaps. He's got a lot to go to chase down that guy. Trevor Siebert in the yellow car passing slower cars once again. He really has the experience on this oval and it is showing right now. He's doing these laps in under 15 seconds.
The difficulty for Siebert now is to keep his concentration up as he moves through traffic. There's the red car, Stefan Prue attacking back now on the inside of Rick Peterson in car number 5. And in front of him in the white car with the orange wing is Bert Hart. Stefan Prue starting to charge his way back up to the front.
Stefan Prue in 3rd, trying to pass Hart to get into 2nd place, and he looks like he's got him in his sights now. You can watch for him to drop down on one of these corners perhaps and take him and move into 2nd. There's Trevor Siebert in the yellow car in the lead. He's safely out in front, no problem for him. And there we've got a car going into the pits. That's car number 40. That looks like Billy Rowe. Billy Rowe into the pits now, so he could be finished for the day.
Rowe had a problem. You remember he spun. He's probably flat-spotted his tires. And now we're back with Stefan Prue, who has moved into 2nd place. In car number 65, the red Sony car, Stefan Prue is chasing this man in the yellow, red, white, and blue car, number 4, Trevor Siebert.
Trevor Siebert in the predominantly yellow car out in front, but Prue was behind him, and now he's stalled on the track.
Skid marks behind him. He must have lost it in the turn. He stopped right in the middle. Here, let's have a look at it. Just a few moments ago, Prue too hot through the turn, right around backwards, and he just missed that wall.
And so we're lined up again, and there's a look at Stefan Prue. After 118 laps, Trevor Siebert in the lead with Hart, David Doski, Berg, and Peterson all following. We'll be back with more oval action from Calgary in just a moment. 3 laps to go. There is Trevor Siebert in the yellow car in the lead.
Oh, and Prue, a miscalculation. He ran into the back of David Doski, number 33, almost went into the wall. He's trying to collect himself now. He's back in 4th spot.
So big problems for Stefan Prue, but no problems whatsoever for the man in the lead here. That is the yellow car right there, Trevor Siebert. Amazing experience here on this oval that has shown through today, and he will take the checkered flag. Trevor Siebert of British Columbia is your winner here at Race City Speedway in Calgary. Bert Hart is second, David Dosky third. Mike Berg, also of California, is fourth. Rick Peterson is fifth, and Quebec's Stefan Prue is sixth.
I should have finished second, but c'est la vie. I won't forgive myself for that one, you know. It was tough to take.
And a great day for Trevor Siebert. $110,000 up for grabs in total for these double oval races. $485,000 for the series. And Trevor Siebert is the winner of the $500 Yokohama Tire Now You've Got Control Award for having most significantly improved his position during the race. And he's tired. He just won a GM Motorsport race on the road course.
I was really tired. I could hardly catch my breath after that race. Went back to tent, put some ice on my head, and I climbed in the car. And for the first 25 laps of that race, I thought, I'm not going to make this. And then a couple of yellow flags really helped me go around with my helmet open, get some air in my helmet, and really calm back and lay back. And then once I saw that I was running, I was the quickest car on the track, helped me relax quite a bit. So it turned out real well.
So it's a rookie winning his very first race this season in a Formula Atlantic car. What a day for Trevor Siebert, Paul.
A wonderful day, especially considering that he's running on a tight budget, and his share of that $60,000 purse will go a long way to paying his expenses to the next race. But a tough day for some of the Canadians, for Stefan Prue and Claude Bourbonnais, and particularly for Frank Allers.
And unfortunately, Frank won't have his car ready in time for the next race here, which will be next week. But Trevor Siebert will be, so we'll be watching for him. And so for Paul Schader, this is Jerry Dobson saying so long from Race City Speedway in Calgary. And don't forget, coming up soon, race number 2 from the 1/2 mile oval at Race City Speedway. The Players Limited Atlantic Series has been brought to you by Yokohama Performance Radial Tires. Now you've got control.
It's a big win for Williams Lake BC's Trevor Siebert. This was a time when the Canadian Atlantic Series transitioned from a strictly road racing series. With the Champ Car program going to more ovals, the Atlantic Series needed to vary up their schedule as well. Thanks for watching From the Vault. Don't forget, you can check out the Hall's website at cmhf.ca. Pick up some Hall of Fame gear at the online store as well.
From the Vault is brought to you by M-Zone. Premium Auto Care, proudly owned and made by Canadians. By Recap Recovery Drink. By WeatherTech. For the perfect fit and ultimate in-vehicle protection, nothing protects like WeatherTech. Order online at weathertech.ca. And by the Canadian Motorsport Hall of Fame. Visit our website for Hall merchandise.